Instagram, my friends.
Trying.
And I'm not muting. Don't know if you're all aware of that.
Oh, since I was gone last week, some cruel things have been said, so I'll just be quiet.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It is going to be a spooky show if I'm quiet.
Right.
Miriam, do you see me? Is my Instagram? Do you guys see that feed?
Do I see you? Let's see. Oh, Ghost Inspector Greg is nice to me, so I'll do something for him. Let's see.
For someone who works in love and light, you don't. All right. Let's just.
Ghost Inspector. I'm sorry. Is someone else speaking? I couldn't hear him. Ghost Inspector Greg, you are not live yet.
Okay. Now it's.
Do I have to do something over here?
No, there it goes.
There it goes. Oh, you are live.
Nice.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go.
Tonight, live on the air. All right, the best part of the show, though. Mystery, the weekly panel show where our panel here, with the help of our viewers, decide if the videos or images we're watching tonight are myth, mystery, or unknown. And remember, this series is heavily reliant on our viewers voting on the videos each week. So please share this video out to get more people to join in. You can only vote on the videos on YouTube. So you need to go to @MythOrMysteryLive on YouTube. That is in the comments for you to go to. The link and everything is there. Though you can comment on the videos from anywhere, the only place that you can vote is on YouTube @MythOrMysteryLive. So please do so. Now, let's introduce the panel tonight. We got a lot of fun folks here with us tonight, mostly. My name is Greg Bakken, and I'm a paranormal investigator. I've been doing this for about 15 years. My favorite way of communicating with spirit is through ITC methods, mainly the Spirit Box. I've had a lot of success using it. I also host Ghostbox Radio on AM 950 radio and streaming on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken Facebook page Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, bringing some fantastic conversations to you regarding the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Harlow. Harlow is a co-producer, graphic artist, research, and video researcher. Harlow is also a writer and illustrator with her book, Plugged into the Paranormal, about her lifelong paranormal experiences. And now Harlow's new book, Obsidian Moon, collected tales of darkness and light. It's out now. You can find the book on Amazon. Really cool. Congratulations, Harlow, on the book. And we're going to be hearing and seeing more of Harlow throughout the show, but we're going to say goodbye to her right now. And thank you, Harlow, for everything. Next up, it is my pleasure to introduce Ghost Inspector Greg. It is the last Thursday of the month, so that means two things: monthly trivia drawing, and Ghost Inspector Greg joins the panel. You know Greg from our weekly viral video segments, and he is a fourth-generation paranormal investigator, having his first paranormal experience as a kid working with his father. Ghost Inspector Greg, also known as Gig around here, is known as a celebrity ghost whisperer for his work with celebrity spirits. Good to see you tonight, Greg.
Good to see you guys. I'm looking forward to ordering that book, Harlow. I'll either order tonight or early tomorrow morning, just so you know.
Everyone follow what Gig is doing and order the book too. Next
Order
up,
that
I
book.
have Ryan. Ryan is a 15-year paranormal investigator and the evidence review go-to guy. Ryan is good at finding things that no one else has found, whether we like it or not. Well, he was going to hit you with some cold, hard facts. Now let's talk about what the show is about. Sorry. Miriam, my friend nearly forgot.
These
Sorry.
guys have been mean to me just because I miss one night. One night.
I'm sorry, it's my turn to introduce you. Miriam is our psychic medium who specializes in remote viewing aliens and clearing dark energies. She is also a teacher of spirituality, the paranormal, and bridging the gap between the two. Now, if you missed last week's show, like Miriam did, head over to Myth or Mystery Live on YouTube for last week's episode to hear My Ghost Story, which is a segment, which was actually an incredible UFO sighting with my friend and Ryan's, John, who also witnessed it, witnessed with me. We also analyzed our viral video of the week and a submission by a Florida viewer of a fascinating capture on their door cam. Was it a shapeshifter or an animal? Check it out. But tonight we have another great ghost story from one of our viewers. It's Jeremy York. You all know him. He comes in late all the time. And we are also going to be doing our monthly trivia drawing. And of course, in the best of paranormal, to be voted on by you, our viewers. Remember, voting takes place only at YouTube at Myth or Mystery Live, so do not miss that. Miriam, I mean, obviously, my biggest concern, are you better now?
I don't think or believe that that's your biggest concern, but I'll take it.
What?
You know what? I'm getting there. So listen, I was like, after the show last week, I was like, oh my God, I missed you guys so much. And I get like radio silence. And then during the show, I'm watching it and I'm like yelling out loud. Bruce comes in and goes, are you doing a show in the bed? Because he could hear me going, Ryan and Greg. And I'm like, no, I just forget that no one can hear me. I'm like yelling into the void. I mean, the jokes around Greg being like, oh, I was in the hot tub with John and with John's wife. And I'm like, are we just going to gloss over the fact that Greg was in the hot tub with John's wife? Like the whole story, like you tell the whole alien story. And I'm like, can we please go back to him being in a hot tub with John's wife? And there's like no response to it. I'm just sitting in my bedroom going, this is awful.
Well, it's called moving a show along, and I know this is an alien concept, no pun intended with the UFO stuff, but I mean the point is like, you know, we just kind of keep the show moving forward. We were able to get that in there for people to laugh and have fun, but then we moved on. So that was kind of what that was. But I will say that I know for a fact Ryan and Harlow were really worried about you. So, you know,
Oh, really?
I don't know. I
was too. So you have your sense of smell and taste back?
Okay, so let's start from the
voice
beginning.
back. What's
Let's
that?
Most people, when they get that COVID real bad, they lose their sense of taste and smell.
I had COVID. Thank you, Ghost Inspector Greg, for caring. I had COVID. I didn't lose my taste or smell this time. But I did become a little delusional. All jokes aside, stop, which is why I ended up at the ER. And can I tell you this story really quick? We were at the ER and I live in Los Angeles and I've been here 25 years. Okay. Well, we've been to the doctor and the ER, not that many times, but a few times. Okay. So we get there and the nurses walking around are like gorgeous, like men and women, stunning. And I'm like curled up in a ball because I'm so sick. And they take me in the back and millions of nurses. Maybe it's the fever making me crazy. And this nurse walks in and I go, why is everyone here so hot? And she goes, what? And Bruce goes, just ignore her. And I'm like, no, why is everyone here so gorgeous? And I'm like, Bruce, did we drive into a movie set or something? Like, I'm not getting up and walking in the back. I look like shit. I'm not doing this. And he's like, okay, so we sat for 2.5 hours to see a doctor, and you're not going to go in the back because everyone's hot. And I'm like, oh my God, it's humiliating. I couldn't believe it. And the nurse started laughing. She said, yeah, I don't know. We do have a lot of hot people here. I'm like, seriously, you have way too many hot people. It's giving me like a serious complex. So basically, I left 4 hours later with low self-esteem and crackers.
And COVID.
And COVID. I brought the COVID, to be fair. I brought the COVID.
When I had it, and I had pneumonia on top of it, and I went to the emergency center, and I mean, first of all, this isn't a knock on any paramedics or medical people, because they're doing the best that they absolutely can, and they're always filled to capacity. But you do not feel human when you're in the waiting room waiting for and it was a busy night. I'm sitting in a chair. I'm thinking, honestly, dying. And it's like 3.5 hours later, they're like, Greg, I'm like, yeah. It just but I mean, it's what the system is. It's not the people who are running. I want to be very clear about that. But the people are trying to help. And then there was those who they clearly saw the people came in that they've had to deal with before, and you could see they're like, no, you're not sick. Like, whoa. But that's just did they say that to you? You're not sick, go home.
No, they didn't. They definitely didn't. They just take you in order of like how severe. Obviously, it is. There is this girl next to me that was barfing in a bag, and I was like, Bruce, can you please ask her to move down a little bit? And he's like, I'm not fucking asking her to do that. So then I turned into Jesus and I said, why don't you I had 2 chairs set up so I could lay down. And I went up to her and I said, why don't you come take my 2 chairs and lay down, and I'll sit somewhere else. It looked like I was doing that out of the kindness of my own heart, but really I was like, if this will stop you from barfing, because if I start throwing up because you're throwing up, this whole thing's going to go downhill fast.
I just love the imagery of, can you just move, please? I don't really want to see you barf. Can you go over there?
Take her in the back or something. The poor thing was throwing up everywhere. Anyway, so I'm happy to be back. Greg, I know Greg has already twice subtly commented on how smooth the show went, how it ended on time. And so
I don't think it was subtle. I mean, it's just a fact.
It's flat out. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
God, thank you.
There's no room for, kiss asses, to be perfectly honest.
No, there's plenty of room for kiss asses. Plenty of room.
So, I mean, it's a good segue to the fact it was a very smooth show. It was the kind of the gang all back together, John, Ryan, myself, and then Harlow just being, the cherry on top, if you will. And it was really good. I mean, no one to come on and, well, I don't need to go into all that. But yeah, it was good. It's nice to have you back.
Rude.
It is good to have you back.
So a gig. What's going on with you? How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Just like I say, waiting for my new toy to show up, my new ghost box, and looking forward to putting that to a lot of use. In fact, when we do our live show, whenever that ends up happening,
on location, you mean?
Yes, I will definitely bring that, and we'll put it to use. In fact, I might even just wait until that night to use it. So
what Ghost Inspector Greg is so kindly remembering, unlike others, Greg and Ryan. I'm sorry, I'm busy being nice to everyone in the comments because you guys aren't. Oh, that was the other thing. Like last week in the comments, like people were saying all kinds of stuff, and Ryan's like, well, no one's saying anything. I'm like, people are saying all kinds of stuff. Anywho,
I have to admit, there was a point early on that Ryan's like, "Do you want me to do anything?" That's how he sounds, and I was like, "No, I'm fine." And then I was like, "Actually, when we come back to the audience analysis, could you put up the comments?" It's like, "Oh, I'm busy doing something at that point." So I was like, "All right, sorry."
Yeah,
why'd I even ask? Okay, but wait, we cut off Ghost Inspector Greg. So tonight we were supposed to be on location at the Redwood Bar, but now that I'm diseased, no one wants to be around me. Harlow subtly and gently was like, hey, so maybe we shouldn't be in the same room next week. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point, because I have cooties, so we weren't able to go to the Redwood Bar, which is haunted. But we're hoping to do that September 12th.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad that we found out about it while everyone in the comments and the audience found out about it too. So that's cool. All right, that works really well. Before we move any further, Ryan, anything of importance that you would like to say?
No, nothing that we haven't covered already. It is
All
nice
right.
to have you back, Miriam, but it was
Thank
fun
you.
too.
Yes, it is very nice to have you back. So with that being said, Myth or Mystery is an interactive paranormal show with a panel of seasoned paranormal investigators and mediums. Plus, as you know, audience participation. The panel will individually determine myth, mystery, or unknown. Myth is not paranormal. Mystery is paranormal. Unknown means not paranormal, but may not be man-made or faked either. The audience is polled throughout the show to determine their analysis of each video, myth, mystery, or unknown. When the panel is not unanimous, the audience polling will be the tiebreaker. The audience will also have opportunities to win prizes via the paranormal trivia question segments. If you are watching on Facebook, jump over to YouTube to join in the polling. YouTube polling is at Myth or Mystery Live. Once again, remember, that's the only way you could actually vote on the videos we're going to show tonight. Now, there are nearly as many people creating fake paranormal and UFO videos these days as there are people trying to capture genuine evidence. Add to that the capabilities of modern technology such as hologram projections, jetpacks, and programmable drones. It is becoming increasingly more difficult to know what is real. That is why shows like ours, Myth or Mystery, are important in helping us to remember to always use our intuition and evaluate with a critical eye. And that is something else that we should probably also bring up, is that the polling was pretty unanimous when it was just all of us and not Miriam. But that's just, I'm sure.
God.
What? What's wrong? Did I say something amiss? All right. So anyway, let's just, so anyway, all right. Well, this is going well. So we start the night off with our ghost story segment told by the one and only, who is not here, Jeremy York.
My name is Jeremy York, and this is my ghost story. Actually, this is a UFO story, and it's not even my experience. This is a story that my mom has told me for many, many years before she passed. And it was something that she went through with her cousin. And I think they were in the state of Ohio when this happened. Because her cousin has always lived in Ohio, and as far as I know, she's never been out of the state. It's a short story. And one that neither one of them had ever thought that they would ever go through. They had heard many stories about UFOs. This is in the late 60s when this happened. So during this time, UFOs are everywhere, supposedly. But they never expected to see anything like what they did. And it started out with one of them, I forget which one, noticed something in the air off in the distance and, point out, hey, what is that? And it looked like just a silver cylindrical object just hanging in the air. And all of a sudden it just came to them in their direction, thinking maybe it might have been like an air balloon or Zeppelin, thinking maybe it might have been a Zeppelin. Wasn't the case. When it came forward, they noticed that it wasn't exactly shaped like that. It was like a perfect cylinder object. And when it got closer to them, now to set the scene, it was like a nice, perfect summer day. hardly a cloud in the sky, no weather, no overcast, no nothing. But when this thing came to them, this gust of wind, endless gust of wind, was blowing everything around, trees, bush, everything, to the point where they had to go inside. And this was at her cousin's house. They had to go inside, and they could actually feel a little bit of rattling in the floors and in the walls. Pictures shaking. So they stayed inside, and then just as quickly as it started, it stopped. Shaking stopped, the rattling stopped. They could not hear the wind outside. So they went outside. And this thing is still there. And as soon as they get outside, the wind picked up again. And, it's a strong enough wind where it could just about knock you down. They go back inside the house, wait, the house is rattling, and then it stops. So they think, okay, what's going on here? This is definitely not normal. They were probably scared to the point where they weren't thinking, UFO, aliens, or anything like that, which it would only be natural for them to be thinking of it because, again, this is the late 1960s. This is where all of these reports, and I think it was not too long after where the time loss thing with that man and wife. It wasn't too long after that. But anyway, they come back out of the house. Everything is nice and still. This thing is up in the air, and it's way up in the air. And then all of a sudden, the wind kicks up again. So for a third time, they rush back into the house, wait it out. Everything settles down. They look out the window this time, and now this thing is gone, like it was never there. They come back outside the house. They look all over the place. Nothing. They don't know how else to explain it except that it's, possible UFO, or as they would call it now, a UAP. Mom never shared this story with anybody until me. Back in the mid 1990s, which I think it was around this time when Independence Day came out, and I was really big into that movie. So she was telling me about this story that happened with her and her cousin. Her cousin, I don't know if she ever shared that story with anybody until I talked to her about a year ago, because I wanted to tell her that I had written a short story based off of the story that Mom had been telling me for years. It's somewhat detailed, but not very detailed from what she told me. But I took everything that she told me, wrote out this story, added a few other details, kind of like flesh it out so that you're actually being told a story. And I sent it to her, and she just loved it. And it was very close to what it was that they went through. She told me, her cousin, she did tell me that it was during a time where they did not dare speak about it, because when you speak about these things back then, there was a good chance it was going to throw you into the loony bin. And neither one of them wanted that. So they just more or less kept it to themselves. And, going into the 90s, stories like that, while not widely accepted, it was starting to become a little okay talking about it, but not like it is today. So that's when Mom started telling me this, and I can still hear her voice vividly. Yeah, she's been gone for 16 years now. I can still hear her voice vividly telling me about how the wind kept picking up until they went into the house, and then it died down, and then when they come back out, how it keeps picking up. It's just not a normal thing that you would expect to come out of your mother's mouth. But at the same time, for me, because I've always been interested in these weird and crazy things, it was nice to be able to hear, hey, she has her own experience. Her cousin has her own experience. It may not be a ghost, but it's the next best thing. So the way that she had described it never really called it anything, but to me it was like a cigarette in the sky. That's how it looked, because it was a perfect cylindrical object, gray or silver all the way across. Um, and that's what I named the story, Cigarette in the Sky. I hope to be able to release that to the public for other people to see, and I can let them know, hey, this is something mom told me. That's basically it. That's my ghost story.
All right, that's really cool, and we welcome Jeremy York to the program, and thank you so much for having recorded that the other day for us. And I kind of want to start things off here a little bit, just by the kind of what we talked about when recorded. How nice is it to have that? You're into this stuff. This is not just kind of like a mild fascination, and you're able to share this experience, and it's a loving memory of your mom.
It's actually a very wonderful thing because, first of all, I'm going to be honest. I get tired of talking ghosts and hauntings, so it's refreshing to be able to talk about something else that is weird, UFOs, aliens, and things like that, and to be able to connect something that I'm interested in, along with something that my mom went through. It's just phenomenal. It's something that it's a story that I enjoy telling, and it's also just another way of keeping my mom's memory alive.
And I love the fact that, like you said, you can hear her voice. It's just very clear still to you, and speaking of someone who's lost both their parents some time ago, you do struggle sometimes to kind of always remember maybe a little bit of the voice or the intonations and stuff. So for you to have all that is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, because after 16 years, I think about her, and every now and then her face gets to be a little fuzzy,
Yeah.
but that goes away really quick. But I have all of these pictures of her on my computer, pictures of her by herself, her with me, her with my dad, her with my daughter. Those are the ones that I hold precious because she loved that little girl like she was her own daughter.
And also that picture you shared of your mom that was in the video, you mentioned that that's what she looked like around the time of all that happening as well.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting that first off, thank you for sharing all of that, Jeremy. All that personal stuff too is really sweet. I think it's interesting because I asked Jeremy to send me a bunch of photos of mom and cousin if he had them, and of the location. And that picture that you guys showed in the video is the one I kept going back to. And that's the one that I get the most connection with. What was your mom's first name?
Pam.
And I'd like to, Greg, can we switch you and Jeremy, and can we use the pendulum?
Yep. All right.
So, of course, anyone who has a question is welcome to join in, Jeremy, Greg, or Ryan, or anyone in the comments. But I wanted to talk first a little bit about the experience, since aliens are my lineage. That experience was a specific group that is known to your mother, meaning your mother has lived a few lifetimes with that group. Your cousin is not as connected or doesn't have the memory recall because the lifetimes that she had feels like either were very minimal or were so long ago, it's very hard for her to retain. But there was a familiarity that mom had with this group. So it was more recent than not that she was with them. She hasn't gone back to them yet, but is it's a close association. So this group was there for research of some type, they're saying. The group, it's their name starts with, it feels like there's an M as in Mary and an X, and I feel like there might an L is in there. Jeremy, they are connected to your daughter also. And so your daughter may have had experiences that she might explain as maybe a weird dream or her imagination or something like that. But she also, like your mom, are very connected to that group. And it's very much a familial experience is what I keep feeling from them.
Just so you know, Pendulum does not disagree with anything you're saying. It's totally on board.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. If anyone else, there's something I'm trying to get from them. If anyone else wants to jump in while I'm sitting with this for a minute, you can.
Well, I mean, I'll jump in. So, Jeremy, that hits sort of close to home because, you know, my brother had an experience where he felt he was actually physically being scanned, and interestingly, that was at a camping site where we were actually out there doing a little bit of Bigfoot research, and I could actually see a light that came down to our area from my tent, and it was over by his tent that very night. He felt like he was being literally scanned, which was really phenomenal. But I'd like to just say that I just sense personally that your mom Pam is very closely with you and your family. I just sense that.
A lot of people have sensed that.
Yeah, misses you, but yet gets to see you, and is you know, I don't want to get too mushy, but very proud of you and your family.
That's sweet. There's something about the ship specific and the color of the ship. There's a gray tone that for some reason is specific and has meaning. The gray tone has meaning. And there's something about it, Jeremy, that is healing for your daughter specifically. So they're saying gray tone. And so I'm hearing and feeling color and sound working together. And I also feel like there may be a texture to it, but there's I like to ask the pendulum this. That night, that day, they came specifically for Pam and her cousin, correct?
Yes, and you can see it built up in energy.
Yeah.
Not to take them, but to almost teach them, show them, have them have that experience, have them retain that, have that connection. Yeah, just. Jeremy, do you have anything you want to ask?
It's nothing that I have to ask. It just seems odd that everything happened the way that it did, because I have heard numerous stories, but never one quite like that. Where the wind is picking up while they're
Right.
outside, so they go inside and then the wind dies down,
Right.
back and the wind picks. I'd never heard of anything like that.
You know why that happened, right? To get
I would-
to get them back out.
Well,
No, I'm serious.
I really don't know. I have never heard of a story like that before.
Am I right?
Yeah, I think I say you're
Right.
right. But
Because they like Miriam said, connect. If I could speak, connectivity.
Yeah.
And they went away, and because they didn't know, and that's why the wind died down. It's like, okay, we're good to go back out, and then it started up. It needed that wind.
it was a form of communication, and that communication was to prove, say that in quotes, that the experience they were having was real, and that communication was really happening, that there was a direct correlation between them going in the house and it stopping and them coming out, going in, coming out. I mean, I just find this story incredible, and I find this group really powerful, bright, very calming, very joyous, just a really beautiful family of beings. So thank you, Jeremy.
I got a question, Miriam, for you, actually. Do you see Jeremy seeing this ship himself in his lifetime?
Yeah, I don't see how he could not, with the connection to his family and his daughter.
Penji totally agrees.
I have seen some things in the sky, but not that specific type. I actually saw something that looked like a silver balloon floating in the sky, just moving in all different directions, and then all of a sudden it stood still, and then it starts moving again, and then it stood still and starts moving again until it disappeared. I thought it was just a regular helium balloon until it stayed still.
It's so interesting. But here's something that's come up for us before, Jeremy. It reminds me of Emily's picture that we analyzed a couple weeks ago, where it's not so much is that specific item alien, but it is being moved or driven by an alien energy, asking you to look and to become aware. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
So like did you see when we analyzed Emily's picture, and we felt like that, well, some of us did, I did at least, that actual item that they captured wasn't necessarily a ship, but it was related to a communication that was being asked of them. And so
would that have been one of the weeks that I ended up not being able to watch because I was getting ready for my Vegas trip?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so no, I would not have seen that. And it's interesting, Marianne, that you said something about a name that starts with an M. My mom's mother's maiden name is Marcio.
Interesting. God, that pendulum's going nuts right now.
Yeah, it is.
Marzio?
Marcio, Marsio.
Yes, M, X, and L. Mm-hmm.
No X, but the mom's maiden name is Bullock, if that means anything.
Yeah, well, I think that the M, X, and L were specifically associated to the name of the alien group, but not a coincidence that your mother's maiden name starts with an M, for sure.
No, her mother's maiden name, mom's maiden name is Bullock, but her mom's maiden name before she married my grandpa was Marcio.
Got it. Yeah, it's an incredible story. That's all I got. Anyone else? I just checked the comments. We don't have any questions there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a great story. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really good. What do you feel when you share this out to people? I mean, any sort of emotion, anything at all, or the stuff that we talked about tonight? What's your general reaction to that?
I feel like that is something nice to be able to talk about, mainly because it involves my mom.
Yeah.
I can talk to people all day about her, and to be able to share this kind of a story, which is a little different from, most families would talk about. Um, I kind of gravitate towards that because of the weirdness in me, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah. So I do enjoy telling that story. I'm not going to say that it's like a sense of, well, it is a sense of pride, but I don't like take pride in. Well, no, I don't want to say that because that sounds really bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Jeremy, thank you so much for sharing your story with
you,
us. Thank you
Jeremy.
so much for doing
Thank you.
this.
Thank you
It's
for having me.
amazing. Now, if you have a story and you want to share it with us, please submit it via our website over at mythormysterylive.com. Send it to us. Honestly, like you could see, we don't bite. We're not bad people. We love hearing good stories, and it's nice to hear Jeremy's story, and I hope that you send yours as well. Now let's get started on image number 1. Remember, if you think you may have caught paranormal on camera, please submit it via our website, mythormysterylive.com. All right. So audience, you are going to vote before the panel analysis video number 1 will be played. It's going to be played a few times, and then you'll have a total of 60 seconds to complete your vote. Once again, you go over to @MythMysteryLive to do that. And here we go. Here is image number 1.
Our next video was captured in June of this year in Jacksonville, Florida. An orb or light anomaly can be seen immediately to the right side of the video near the ceiling. Then the owner walks out of the bedroom. As she approaches the kitchen, a light turns on in her laundry room. By her reaction, it's clear it catches her off guard. She says she stood there debating whether or not she had actually seen that happen. The light in the room is a normal switch and not motion activated. As the video ends, another light anomaly occurs to the right. Her husband, kids, and dogs were all in the bedroom. The family had the house built and are the first to live in it. They've been there about 3 years. This is the only thing they've caught on camera, although they often feel a presence, and the kids claim to have seen things. The energy doesn't feel bad, but more like a child spirit.
Okay, polls are now closed. Panel will begin their analysis. After the panel analysis, you're going to get your chance to vote again. Why don't we start with Miss Miriam here?
Okay. Let me see. I wasn't able to get any photos of the house, so I'm using my cards to see if it's weird because I feel like whoever is there is, I don't want to say attached to the family to freak out the family, because it's not attached in a bad way, but I feel like I want to say I feel like this energy came with the family. It came from somewhere else. It came from wherever you were before, because I don't feel it directly connected to this home. I feel the energy more connected to you all, and it feels like it doesn't feel real scary or bad, but it does. And it almost feels like it feels very like playful. I almost leaning into maybe a pet or a loss or an animal that died. Not necessarily someone this family knows. Again, this may have came from another. You guys may have picked this energy up somewhere else, but it's playful and young and light. So anyway, that's the bulk of what I'm feeling here, without going too deep into it, because I know the show is not all about me, although I want it to be. So I'm going mystery on this.
All right, there we go. That's great. We move over to Ghost Inspector Greg. Love to have your analysis on this video. What do you think?
Okay, well, I enjoy the video. It's fun. There's a couple things that I'm concerned about. The orb that is addressed to the right hand side. I think that's dust, something like that. It just doesn't have the characteristics that I would expect from an orb. I'm also curious about the camera placement. Why is that camera placed there? But then again, I read the backstory, and it all seems, she seems very sincere, so the light going on can be something very cool. Could be faked too, but again, I felt like she was being pretty sincere, and so that said, I'm going to go with unknown.
Oh, look at that. Unknown. All right. Stirring the pot already. Okay, on this very controversial episode of Myth or Mystery, we're going to. Okay, so here's the thing too, that I feel, Greg, I understand completely. I was thinking about this, and we get more and more people who have cameras in their homes, recording everything all the time. I don't want what I do in my home recorded all the time. So I'm never going to put a camera out there. I've never understood it personally, but for those of you who are doing it, good for you. And if you're doing it just to pick up paranormal activity, good for you as well. That being said, the reaction that she has is kind of I find that very interesting. I find that as like inquisitive, opposed to like surprise or anything. And to me, it almost seemed like that it was familiar to her. That I feel like that it's a very interesting response. And like Greg, what you're saying is like, I have to take this at face value in terms of what we hear the story. I think I've seen orbs that kind of move that way, and I've also seen dust that move that way. So I also agree with that. But I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go, and as much as it pains me to do, because someone else has already voted this way, I'm going to go mystery on this tonight.
You can run, but you can't hide.
But then let's have the excavator come in and tear it all down and kind of see what Yep, it's time. It's time to be evil. So
All right, so I took a clip of it here, just kind of as she comes around the corner and turns it on. When I first saw this, was thinking motion sensor. I do see up in the corner above the doorway, kind of right here, there does appear to be a motion sensor in the house. Now, that could be for an alarm system. It could be for anything. Obviously, with the camera there, they do have a smart home setup. So I was thinking, this is probably a motion sensor, something turned on, but I'm not seeing any other lights turn on as she comes in. So what I did, I took a couple of screenshots. So this is just before she gets to the corner. You can kind of see her hand just around the corner. And then when the light turns on, her other hand is there. To me, that's not quite enough to actually turn on any kind of motion sensor. The way motion sensors work is they kind of put out like laser beams, and you have to trip like 2 or 3, 4 of them in order for it to work. I don't see enough of her crossing any potential lasers or infrared beams there to trigger anything. I've watched this a lot. The orbs, I do think are dust. I didn't even include them in here because I think that it's dust, the way that they're moving and flickering like that. But in terms of the light turning on, if that's not a motion sensor, I got to go mystery on this one.
wow, hold on here. Wow, look at that.
And we do, Harlow, I'm going to bring you up really quick. Harlow, she said it's not a motion sensor, correct? All right.
Hold on.
It's all right.
I have to do a couple things. Yeah, she did say there was not a motion sensor.
Okay, thank you. I'll leave you alone.
So I was kind of the bad guy here tonight.
No one's wrong. Except
I'm
you.
saying, unknown, everybody else,
No, never
Yes,
a bad guy. It makes it fun when people are. when we-
listen to this. Never a bad guy. This is
He because he actually cared that I was sick. But hey, I wanted to say something serious for a moment. Greg, you and I do not have children. And so a lot of people have cameras pointing in that direction if they have nannies, like Ryan, I don't know if you do, but if they have like different babysitters or nannies, we have cameras all in our apartment to watch our pets because we're nuts like that. But in our defense, it's because if God forbid there is ever a fire or something, pets aren't the first to be saved, whereas humans are. So we have cameras for that purpose. So we do have cameras pointing in, not recording, but ours aren't turned on to record. Like, wait, they're turned on, but they don't record everything, right? Unless you.
well, I mean, that's kind of the purpose of a camera, I think.
When we're not home, it's recording, but like right now, it's not recording. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, wow.
Anyway, no one gives a shit. So my point to you is that people have cameras nowadays, and that's why.
Ryan, do you have cameras?
No.
Only outside, nothing inside.
I was going to say he does not seem like the type.
Greg, what about you? Just curious.
It is Fort Knox.
I believe that. I believe it. I bet there's bunkers too in the place.
A form of.
That's good. Okay, so let's take a look at the pre-analysis polling numbers.
Oh, whoopsie. Sorry.
Yeah, instead of giving me the riot act. Yeah,
I know.
So pre-analysis, we're at 18% myth, 81% mystery, and 0 unknown.
Look at that. So currently for unknown, Greg is out there by himself, but maybe now.
Just me.
Maybe now after the analysis, everyone heard the analysis, maybe that changes things. Did your analysis change? Whether it did or not, please vote again. We want to know if the panel has shifted your viewpoint at all on image one. And remember, even if your analysis did not change, please vote the same one more time because we're going to see if the numbers changed at all. Okay, the panel did their analysis. Now it's time to hear what the audience had to say. What do we have?
Here it comes. So Anton's thinking it could be the location. Yes. Sticks Boy is saying sometimes the light switch isn't in the correct position, even if it looks like it is. Anton appreciates the different perspectives. That's good. And the light might turn on unexpectedly. Okay, that's true. What does old Jeremy say? If you're going to have a proton pack, you better protect your house. Got it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, that's all we got for the audience. So
Wow.
audience is kind of half and half. Let's see.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, well, with that being said, then, do we have the numbers for the second vote?
We do. Hold on.
And if you want to watch Ghostbox Radio tonight, good luck. Anyway.
So after analysis, we went to 18% myth, 63 mystery, and 18% unknown. So, Gig, you got some followers out there.
And so myth stayed the same, right? And then it was just mystery that that percentage went over to unknown.
Yep.
Mystery changed, yeah.
Look at that, huh? Look at that. You've changed people's minds, Greg. Look at that. But that's what Gregs do. They bring in fresh perspective. Yeah, Gregs are really good at being very. Yeah, I think you're all a mystery. All right, so
wait, add Logan. Add Logan to the mix. It'll bring my number up. Thank you, Logan.
He's got a vote.
No, how does Logan not know how to vote, Ryan? You need to teach him how to do that.
I'm too busy actually being on the show than watching it.
You know, it's funny, isn't it? You think that the person who created the show, at least co-created it, would know that the show actually has to be put on the air. And every week she's doesn't realize that. And she last week, she's texting us during the show. It's just
I'm sorry, I missed you guys.
I could hear the tone in the
I missed you. It was an aggressive love. I'm sorry. Okay, but listen, let's talk to Carl for a second. Carl, you love the show and you watch it every time you get a chance. What do we need to do to make sure you're here every week? Do we need to call your boss? Do we need to do something about your job? How do we move this from every time I get a chance to every single week? Just a question.
All five of us show up at his work. Hey, we could be like the heavies. Hey, you can. I mean, Greg sounds like he can bring something from Fort Knox to kind of ruin someone's day. So, I mean,
Yep. Basically.
All right, people are outing themselves on what they did here. Violet went from myth to unknown. Jeremy went from myth to unknown. He did vote, but wanted you to know what he voted. Oops, that's your wife. Hi, Ashley. I didn't mean to yell at you. I was yelling more at Ryan.
Yeah, Gwen needs top security. I mean, she, got to have top security around here for Gwen.
Carl, give us your wife's email. We'll email her.
I feel like we're going down dangerous territory, quite frankly.
All right, let's keep moving, people. Hi, Gwen.
All right. So with that being said, eventually, and only, I mean, at this, you know what? What is it? 9:59. What were we doing last week, Ryan?
We were saying goodbye at this point.
Yeah, we were saying we're wrapping up the show. We just finished the first video here tonight.
Yep. We're not even at the halfway point
people
tonight.
Are unable to see their loved ones. Okay, so anyway, it's time for Myth or Mystery viral video segment brought to you by Ghost Inspector Greg, who is with us tonight. Audience, please let us know if you would like to see viral video number 1, number 2, or both analyzed. Voting is open on YouTube at Myth or Mystery Live. And let's play the viral video segment, as I thought someone else was going to do it, and it's actually me. Here we go. Actually, where is it?
Oh, my Lord. I'll play it.
Welcome back to another Viral Videos with Ghost Inspector Greg. Let's get into it. Could this be a ghost caught on film at a cemetery? Me and my friends saw something similar when we were kids.
the legendary Megalodon? Let us know what you think by voting Thursday night at Myth or Mystery.
Thank you, as always, Ghost Inspector Greg. And after trivia, we'll announce polling numbers from the viral video segment. Please share with us the viral videos that you're interested in, whether they make you feel something intuitively or if you're just curious, if it is a myth or mystery. We want to know the why behind why you choose that particular video to submit to us. Please submit via our website at mythormysterylive.com. Your name will remain anonymous if you choose. Now it's time. We've been waiting all month for this, and it's so exciting. I mean, we could barely control ourselves over here. It is time to announce the July winner for trivia, taken from Scully, picked by Miriam. Are we ready for this? I mean, I don't think we are, but are we ready for this?
We are, but you know what just occurred to me?
Oh, Jesus.
We should be doing this drawing on the first of the next month.
Yeah.
The first Thursday, not on the last Thursday, because someone could have had a chance to win tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Before, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this.
Well, why didn't you say something?
We did.
No, tonight.
Well, because this is how we've been doing this for like 4 months this way.
Yep.
It's not the right way.
Well, it was your way, so you're right.
So what do we do, folks? What do we do?
Well, yeah,
Let's do the drawing, and then we'll correct it next month.
Sure, that sounds
Everybody's
good.
expecting to win tonight.
Right, exactly. Now, are we ready? I got the snare drum. Are we ready for this?
I don't like when Jeremy piles on. I like when he takes my side.
Sticks Boy's right though.
What
Either way, you lose a week of trivia.
I was just thought you could end the
we're
sentence
doing
at either way
both.
we all lose. Anyway.
No, we're doing both. We're still going to do trivia tonight.
Yes.
So, like Anton said, why don't we do trivia first, then put their name in here, and then draw?
I don't care.
Okay, do trivia first. Do trivia first.
All right, here we go. We're ready for it. I got the. Oh, you do trivia first. Oh, Jesus. All right. Let's see here. Where's
Well,
all
if
the?
you prepped with your questions, you come up with questions like literally on the spot.
No, I don't. It's a very meticulous process of getting it right.
Liar.
Except I didn't come up with one this month. Okay, so here we go. Jeremy cannot take part in this because he's a movie buff, and so we don't want his.
Get out of
time
here, Jeremy.
This is we call myth or mystery justice. Anyway, so the question is, the 1931 original film Frankenstein. Tell me who the director was. Tell me who the director was of the original 1931 Frankenstein. You have 5 seconds to put it in the comments, starting now. All right, the question tonight is, who was the director of the original 1931 Universal film Frankenstein? Put it in the comments.
Nobody.
Is there people out there tonight?
I know. It's quiet. It's
you
a
don't
quiet
know that
night.
one either. Okay, well then you can play.
Here. Hold on.
I knew he would get it actually.
Okay, good. So I'll put his name in here then.
And just so we know it works. Okay, that just makes me feel so much better. Oh, that's good stuff.
You feel better?
I feel a little bit
here we
better
go.
now. Yeah.
Okay, we're putting in Sticks Boy.
Okay. Now,
All right.
now hold on. We need to play. We haven't played the video because we need to see. Everyone needs to see what you could possibly win and what you can also buy. So here we go.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I got it. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
I'm on top of it always. Here we go. Now, just a little bit of feedback. When I recorded Jeremy this week, he says he doesn't like the new music for the merchandise video.
Oh, no, I want it to keep going.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, he said he hated it. Quite frankly, he didn't mince words. So, I like it for what it's worth.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, and he's not really part of the show.
No. Oh, look at Linda. Hold on. Can I play this, please, really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Is that the one you just played?
Oh, I didn't know that there was.
Get off the stage, you guys.
So,
We played enough, okay?
so should we
Enough.
play it one more time in
I
case
know.
people want it? In case it didn't quite get to them?
Buy
that
something.
Was that the one you played?
No, mine was the round one trivia because I didn't know that existed. Where did that come from?
I forgot we had it.
It's not in the.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Look at Linda Judd got the I voted T-shirt. It's so soft. Oh my gosh, I want to
Welcome.
see. All right, let's do this, people. Let's draw.
Hold on. Let me pull out the drum again. Okay, you ready for the drum?
Yeah. I'm so nervous.
In this month's winner,
It gives me such anxiety to do this. Uh-oh, my eyelashes are sticking together. I may not be able to read this. Oh my God, it's Sticks Boy.
All right.
Oh, good job.
well done. What's that? Your 15th T-shirt you won?
Seriously.
Well, congratulations, Six Boy.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just start sending some of these people just parts of T-shirts, and it's like a puzzle. They can put it together. The more they
That's
win,
a
the
good
more
idea.
T-shirts they're gonna get. You know, my God.
That's actually a really good idea. All right.
All right. So since clearly you're not going to have Ghostbox Radio on tonight, do we have?
What do we have time for?
We have a winner for the viral video.
Oh, we do.
All right.
Cemetery Ghost. 60% of the votes got video number 1, that Cemetery Ghost.
Wow. There we go. Very cool. Okay, so we'll look forward to that coming up. Now, adding Harlow back in here. Before we move on to image number 2, we want. Oh, it's your first win. Oh, whatever. Before we move on to image number 2, we want to share a follow-up we received from one of our most incredible images caught on camera, even forcing Ryan, of all people, to actually vote mystery. The beloved story of Evie. Take a look.
Myth or Mystery has been airing for well over 6 months now. As the person who contacts and corresponds with folks who provide our videos, I've found that the story sometimes continues after the show. I get to hear their response to the analysis. Sometimes paranormal experiences continue at the location, but sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes the whole of the original experience impacts their lives going forward, which is often the case when paranormal and spiritual moments take center stage. Back in April, we shared a video from England, a family who had recently lost a beloved pet, a Maltese dog named Evie. The owner was having difficulty dealing with the loss. After watching the show, she expressed her thanks, grateful for Miriam's insights and the fact that Ryan didn't debunk the video. She admitted to feeling Evie close to her and that they continued to see movement on the pet cam. She said she was very emotional and that when Evie used to be agitated, she would tell the dog to settle. Now her husband was telling her to settle, that once she did, Evie's spirit would settle too. I told her there was a lot of truth in that, and I thought paranormal and spiritual experiences often happen to help us grow in deeply personal ways. She has since put up a sign dedicated to Evie in the field where she used to play, and also become an advocate, spreading information about the specific drug that was used to treat Evie. It is since shown to have potentially dangerous side effects. It's fascinating to see where our paranormal experiences can lead us and the doors they open.
Wow. Wow, how amazing!
That's awesome.
I mean,
yeah.
Harlow, I mean, when you're getting these stories back, you must. I mean, it just must make you feel good to see that that it lives on beyond our story that we do for the show.
Yeah, very much so. And in this lady's case, not only did she become an advocate for pets in general, but they have also now adopted a new dog. I just saw her post yesterday on Facebook, this big blanket with a whole bunch of toys, and they're getting their puppy, I think today or tomorrow, and her name is Daisy.
Oh wow, wow, that's beautiful.
Great.
That is so cool.
That's
Yeah.
so cute. Thank you, Harlow.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. That's amazing. All right, well that's great news, and it's. I love the fact that I love the fact that it's one that Ryan actually voted mystery on, because that would have been embarrassing if he didn't.
Look at what Jeremy said. Myth or mystery chessboard, get one piece every 4 to 6 weeks.
Only if you win, though. Only if you win.
Yeah.
All right, that was great. I hope we have more of that. And you know what's really kind of fun about that is that we have been on long enough, and it's really cool to see. It was an episode that Ghost Inspector Greg was on as well.
Mhm.
I think it's really cool that that there's been such a cachet of videos that has been shown through our program, that there is that sort of like follow up that's happening with these as well.
Yeah, it's nice when people stay connected to us like that.
Very much so. All right, so let's do this. Moving on to image number 2, last week's audience viral pick. So once again, folks, audience, you're going to vote before the panel analysis video 2 will be played a few times. You'll then have a total of 60 seconds to complete your vote. So let's take a look at image number 2 right now. Okay, polls are now closed. Panel will begin their analysis. After the panel analysis, you'll get a chance to vote again. And why don't we just start with Miriam?
So this was submitted by Linda Judd. Thank you, Linda. I think it's a really cool visual personally, but my feeling from this is it doesn't feel like a physical being of any sort. It feels like it just translucent, like I could feel right through it, which a lot of times when something feels like really translucent to me, it means it's a spirit of some sort. But this feels more almost like like translucent, and either it's an edit or it's even snow. Like it feels soft, like something like that. It's the only way I can describe it. So for me, this is a myth.
All right, there we go. Moving on to Mr. Ghost Inspector Greg. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, well, first off, every single Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot video that ever comes across my eyes is real. No, but seriously, this appears to be somebody's artwork, and it's fun. It's really great. And next week I'm going to do a viral videos that'll is very convincing Bigfoot footage. So I'm going to do that next week. I was going to do it at some point, but I'm going to do it next week. But so for me, all right, this is fun, but it's a myth.
Okay, moving on. So I'm gonna get my go on it. I love everything about this. I love how it looks. I love the film look to it. I love that the graininess to it, and that there's film specs on it. But I do not believe for 1 second any of this is real. I look at this, and first of all, I'm glad it's been submitted because it is beautiful. And it's just, I mean, I love every part of it, but I think it's, I don't even think there's any real footage in there whatsoever. I'm calling this a myth as well. So honestly, dude, if you're like, well, this is actually a
mystery so bad.
All right.
I mean, not to tell you how to vote, just
not to tell me what to do. So I slowed it way down. One thing that I want to look at is the legs. And actually this whole person. Right now it looks like they're walking away from us, and then they kind of go in reverse. The legs kind of disappear, and then they switch sides. The hips change complete movement. The whole body. Look in this right hand right here. There isn't a ski pole there right now, and then all of a sudden one appears. Right now it looks like they're not wearing skis. It looks like they're just kind of hiking. And then as it gets closer to us, all of a sudden a ski pole appears, and it appears that they're having skis. I'll kind of let it play. There's the ski pole all of a sudden in their hand. And now there's no skis on their feet right here. And then all of a sudden there's a ski that appears out of nowhere, and it's kind of throwing snow. To me, this is just fully 100% AI. I don't think, like Greg said, I don't think there's one speck of this that's real footage. This is all AI. It's scary what AI can do now. It's getting really advanced, but AI still has its flaws, and they are pretty easy to pick out too. But myth, 100% myth on this one.
Look at that. Look at that. All right. So before we go any further, do we have pre-analysis voting numbers?
Yes.
We're at 60% myth, 10% mystery, and 30% unknown.
All right. Well, there you go. So once again, did your analysis change? Whether it did or not, please, everyone go vote again. We want to know if the panel has shifted your viewpoint on image number 2. And remember, if your analysis did not change, please vote the same one more time. Here you go. Okay, whoops, I need to switch this around. Sorry, folks. The panel gave their analysis. Now it's time to hear what the audience had to say.
All right. what do you guys? Let's see. Ghost Quest says I'd scare had weird movements, but it's a wonderful piece of film. It really was, Linda. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Hi,
it
Ghost
was.
Quest. Looks too AI.
Mhm.
Anton, to me, a costume ICOD being slided in on post production. Wow, that's a pretty amazing production for sure. John, do you? I think is that John's dogs? Yes, I recognize John and his dogs. Looks like an AI video, so everyone's there. So let's see. We've got our post analysis. I'm copying and pasting it. I'm bringing it over here. Here we go. 20 minutes later. Oh, look at this.
No real surprise there. 100% myth.
Yeah, look at
Nice.
that. So we swept the board today on for this one.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So in fact, if we have the scoreboard, we should take a look and see how the day progressed. It seemed like a pretty good day for me. So, which is
all about you. I feel like I was gone for one night and you've just taken over.
No, it's not taking over. Just did things right. That's all. Yeah, I would agree with that, and very much so. And Ryan, you're right. I mean, it's very scary what is coming through for AI these days, and I don't know.
Not letting me upload the scoreboard tonight.
Oh,
Doesn't
that's
matter. We all
okay.
won.
It's okay.
Wait a minute. We all didn't win.
Well, Greg and I did. All
Yeah.
three Gregs did, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait a minute. The first video. Oh my God. The one night we don't have the scoreboard. The first video. Harlow, please.
Mystery, except for Ghost Inspector Greg, who said unknown. And then the second video, everybody said myth.
Yeah. So in your faces.
Why are you so aggressive? It doesn't need to be this way. Last week we all got along so well, and
We
I don't
did.
know. I mean, it's just kind of funny to see what one person can do to the whole way that it
All
goes.
3 Gregs, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that
Thanks,
too.
Linda. I forgot. I didn't catch that.
Ryan wants to change his name. We all know that.
Sorry. Greg was busy tagging on me. Anyway.
Can I share something very interesting with you guys?
Please
Sure.
Okay, right back here, this ghost box right here. It's a boom box. You see this?
do. Hold on. Let me zoom
Came
in on
via, that came via Katie Stafford.
Okay.
A few years back. I've had that a while. And, I come in here and I flip these things on, okay, just for the effect.
Sure.
But I just want you to know, when I walked in my office, before the show, that was already on.
Wow.
I don't know, but that was already on.
That's cool.
And I just found that kind of interesting. So,
That is very interesting.
Is Katie paying us for all this endorsement? Or,
you should, actually, yeah, we should get this next ghost box for free with all the advertising.
supply all of us with one. I'm sure he will. So no, that is actually really cool. And those boxes are so good. They're really fun to play with and stuff too. Harlow, what do you think about tonight?
Both videos were really kind of fun visually.
Yeah.
And definitely a lot more lively banter tonight with the full group here.
Oh, stop.
Thank you. Thank you.
God. You mean with Ghost Inspector Greg? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to commit to too much here.
Oh
She
my
must
goodness.
really say
All
she
right.
doesn't
I'm gonna
have
play
a
the
comeback.
middle. Stay safe.
Yep, it's a wise area to be. Hold on. You do bring a certain balance to the show.
That's not, and that's a nice way of saying it.
Linda.
A certain balance. All right,
Linda
enough.
said.
If I can't even get Linda on my side, forget it.
So, do you have any closing thoughts, Miriam?
I'm happy to be back.
As we all are. We kept saying it the whole night. I don't know why you would think otherwise.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm here on my show about me. Oh wait, the show isn't about me. All right.
No, it kind of is. So yeah. And Ghost Inspector Greg, any words of wisdom before we close out?
Words of wisdom. Keep your head up and see everything around you. Don't miss anything, because the paranormal is everywhere.
That was
It
nice.
is. No, it's, sorry. My sigh was reading about Miriam in the comments. Had nothing to do. Has phenomenal hair. she does. First, I'm not laughing at that. It's just like okay. And then Ryan, anything you want to end with? Since, I mean, we could draw this out since we're already well past my show being on, so it doesn't really matter.
Bruce just walked in and he goes, "You wrapping this up?"
I don't think so. I actually don't.
Well, we could just keep
I don't think
going.
we're through yet. I kind of feel like we're all trapped. So with no dog vomit, and no pet makeout session tonight either, which is 2 weeks in a row now without it. So.
Oh, this isn't me, dude. I didn't start this. I just post what I see.
Oh well, thank you. That's unless you meant Ghost Inspector Greg, who also has nice hair. So, I mean, we all have nice hair except for those who have less hair. Right. So
you have to go walk the dogs. You have
okay. Well, I guess we're done now. Well,
There's your makeout session.
Yep. Here we go. Jeez. So. And it even just kind of stopped me from, I don't even know what to do. Thank you for joining us on Myth Mystery. Each week, we bring new videos for you and the panel to weigh in on. Our 4 or 5 hour shows are fantastic. And if you caught paranormal on camera or you have extraordinary ghost or alien experiences you would like to share, please send it through our website, mythormysterylive.com. If you enjoyed our show, please like and share. We'll see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, here on Myth or Mystery Live. Everyone, have a good night. Good dog.